Good afternoon, clinicians and health professionals all over the world. This is Private Practice. It's a freezing cold, wintry, blustery Monday afternoon here in the Blue Mountains, and I thought I would start sharing these videos again. Despite the fact that I've had a death in my family, I think it's time that we start talking about the realities of how this plays out in our businesses and what occurs and what we need to be mindful of as we manage ourselves through this process. So as you can see, I got incredibly dressed up for work today. Yoga gear. I didn't even get to yoga this morning. Don't think my hair's been done. There is no makeup, and there's probably been a bit of bleary-eyed tearfulness happening today. I am human. Hello, Carol. It's so lovely to see you. You've been having an awesome weekend. I love Facebook. It tells me what everybody's been doing. Happy, happy, joy, joy. So my business has kept going while I've been dealing with the grief and the suddenness, and the people around me have been amazing, amazingly supportive, incredibly compassionate, and at times the thoughtfulness and compassion knocks me. I'm like many people, I'm used to being the one who is kind and compassionate and thoughtful, and over this last week and probably for a couple more weeks, I get to be the person who receives your kindness and your compassion and your thoughtfulness. Hey Nicola, honey, so lovely to see you too. Thank you for turning up. Often it's really difficult as the person who has been the carer or who is used to providing the care to receive care. So I think that's something worth reflecting on for a moment, because we're all going to need it at times. And if we keep pushing people away, or we're putting up walls, or we're fine. My sisters and I have been having fabulous conversations about how fine we all are. If we keep doing that, then people don't know how to respond to that wall, and they don't know if we really are fine, but all they're hearing is, I can't penetrate that, and it's too hard, and I don't know how to help. And then we, as the people who need the kindness, care, and compassion, end up going, nobody loves me, nobody wants to help me. So we need to help others help ourselves. So I don't know if any of you watching this video are like me, and you very competent, and we're very capable. We are very competent and very capable, and sometimes it's hard for people to see us not be so competent and not be so capable and have a level of fragility. And it's taken me a long time to understand that I don't have to be scared of other people's reactions of me, that I'm allowed to have emotions. I don't necessarily like the strong ones, but I'm also allowed to ask for help, and I'm also allowed to recognize when I'm not doing so well. To give you an example, this morning I had to make quite a lot of phone calls in preparation for a funeral. We have a funeral happening this Friday. So just a warning, there won't be a This is Private Practice Celebration Friday happening this week. I'll be with my family. Just putting that out there. But as I was making more and more phone calls and identifying the details and the bits and the pieces, because putting a funeral together actually takes a fair amount of work, I was getting faster and faster and faster in my speech. And as I got faster and faster, I thought I was being really, really helpful. I had all these words that needed to get out. But it took a lady on the end of the phone to actually help me calm down and say, I can't help you if you don't let me hear you. And I thought, wow, she couldn't. Of course, I got offended in the first minute. I'm like, what's wrong with you, woman? But then I understood what she was trying to say, which is, I want to help you, but you're not making it easy for me to do that. In fact, the way you're behaving right now isn't making it possible for me to do that. So I got over myself and was able to calm my speech down, and was able to then talk to her about what I needed to talk to her about, which is pretty cool. And I know all of us in our businesses will, at times, it doesn't have to be the tragic death of a parent to stimulate us into this fight, flight, freeze mode, where our amygdala, or the primitive brain, or that bit inside our brain that just goes on hyper overdrive and keeps us safe, starts acting. And we have this incredible capacity these days to actually acknowledge when that's going on, and we can change our behavior, because most of us watching this video aren't being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. If you are, good luck to you. I have no advice. Just run fast. But most of us can actually take a moment to be mindful and go, I've got stuff going on here. I need to calm down, because we all know that making decisions when we're super anxious or hypervigilant or in super over-functioning mode probably aren't going to be the best decisions that we need to make. So it's okay to press pause on the strategy and the decisions that need to be made in your business. I had this huge project where I was working with a CFO to help me understand how to better manage the numbers in my business. And I've just had to hit pause with it. It's new learning for me. It's learning that I find uncomfortable because we're creating new neural pathways, and also because I don't like getting things wrong, like numbers. We've also had a project, my husband and I, to buy a home. We've put pause on that until we're ready to make better decisions. And I've had some exercise and health goals that I've chosen to just put pause on until I'm able to make the decisions I want to make. I don't want to turn anything else into feeling harder than it needs to be. So at the moment, I don't know. I'm at work, I'm working, I enjoy my work. I'm building the business in terms of I'm keeping all the things going. I even wrote a blog post today. In fact, I wrote two. I wrote one for Purple Co and for Joe Muirhead. So gosh forbid anybody who's on both of those email lists this week, you're going to be going, what the heck has gotten into Joe? It's just what came to me today. So what is it that you can be intentional about this week? When can you recognize that your stress levels are being unhelpful and unfruitful? We need a certain amount of stress in our lives to help us be productive, don't get me wrong. But what's going to be going on for you that you can help people be educated on how to help you? So my family, they have been taught a new code phrase. And this was something that one of my team leaders, way back in the day when I was working in another organization, she would come to me at 3 o'clock or even earlier in the day, and her code phrase was, Joe, do you need some chocolate? Which was code for, Joe, you're spinning out of control and you're driving us all nuts. Could you please go and take a 5-minute break? Which was very polite, and it was a lot of fun. So I've actually taught that to my family in this past week. So if anybody sees me spinning out of control or talking 30 miles to the dozen or acting in a way that isn't congruent with me, then you have permission to ask me if I need to have some chocolate. I'm wishing you all a fantastic week. I'm looking forward to sharing with you this week. I don't know what's going to come up. I don't know how this is going to play out, but this is private practice and this is what it takes. And it's not all sunshine, rainbows, and unicorn farts, is it? I look forward to talking to you again later this week. Bye for now.